Over the years when I was trying to get sober, a big problem was I just felt so alone. It's because I was still hanging out with friends who still drank a lot, but I felt just kind of separated from all of them. I had nobody to talk to about what I was going through. And, you know, those first few weeks, because I could string together a few weeks, you know, I'd feel really good. And the last thing that people who are drinking want to hear is how good you feel from quitting drinking. It's really kind of, they take it as an attack on them. This time around, having reached out to somebody at the beginning of my sobriety now, reached out to somebody who was going through the same thing, and then through that, meeting so many other people in recovery, through going to meetings, having a program, and just in general. It's the exact opposite of loneliness now. I remember my dad saying to me a few months in, he said, "Do you know how rare it is for someone your age, like the end of my 30s, to make new friends, like so many new friends?" And I think about that often. I have so many people in my life because of recovery. It's more friends than I think I've ever had, and they're genuine friendships. Before it was booze and drugs, you know, it brings people together. It's something to do, you know, my whole social life revolved around it. And now I have all of these like genuine connections with people where they care about my well-being and I care about theirs. And it really does keep me sober. It also made me realize who in my life from before, from when I was still drinking, who I wanted to have in my life after I quit drinking, and who I didn't. It turns out there were a lot of toxic people that I was really just tolerating because of drinking, booze and drugs, you know. And now, yeah, it's the, you know, they say that the opposite of addiction is connection. They've been saying that for decades. I think since like the 50s. And it's totally true. Trying to just, you know, take yourself off the board and like sequester yourself so that you won't drink or do drugs. I tried that many times and it failed every single time. And this time around, I just decided, okay, I need to go where the sobriety is. And the sobriety is where sober people are. In my case, that was in my 12-step program. Being able to go to meetings and be surrounded by people who have the exact same problem with me is great. And hanging out with sober people is fucking hilarious. At the beginning, I was so worried that it would just be like so dour, you know? Oh God, do I just have to go and hang out with these lame people who are just gonna talk about recovery and stuff all the time? It's not that. It is shooting the shit. It's a good hang. It turns out that there are a lot of really interesting, fun people who maybe had drinking problems. The stories are endless. So if you're worried about, for me, I recommend if you are worried about reaching out to other people, just know that, like, you know, it's probably not what you think. There are really great people who are in recovery. And I was pleasantly surprised by the kinds of people I was able to meet. It also really helped humble me too, because I thought that, you know, I was so high on myself, like, oh, you know, I know what kind of people I want to hang out with, and oh, maybe these people aren't cool or whatever. And I quickly realized, like, status, or you know, money or social, anything, it really doesn't matter to me anymore. It really doesn't. It's amazing the kind of people that I used to hang out with based on proximity and booze and drugs, that now I get to hang out with who I know nothing about their jobs, or like, I know what they do, but I don't know what the hell that entails. The only thing I have really in common with them is that we really like each other and we're both in recovery. I like to think of it a lot like when I was 12, when we're all kids, we hang out with people because we just genuinely love their company. You know, it's like you call up a friend and like, come on over, play video games or whatever. Let's go ride our bikes. And it's strikingly similar to that for me. I just like hanging out with people for the sake of hanging out with them. There's no transaction towards it. It's really just, I really like the company of the people that I surround myself with now. So if you are struggling with loneliness in recovery, find other sober people. Find your tribe, you know, because I did, and it is what keeps me sober, is the fellowship of other people in recovery. So remember, you're just not alone in this. There are tons of people out there, and the vast majority of them are willing to help.